Hello and welcome to another video. Today we're continuing this, let's call it a series, where we try to make interactive content where you can follow along with the game. And we're still reviewing plot games. And later on we're going to, if people keep enjoying this series, and I'll review, I don't know, like diamond games and master games and, I don't know, something, gold, I don't know, whatever people want. It doesn't really matter. Can do whatever you love. Okay, so for this one, we have an Evelynn Udyr matchup. Many people probably hate it. Udyr known to be not the most balanced champ in the game at the moment for the last 20 patches, but it's okay, happens. Pretty interesting top lane matchup, as we have an Ignite against TP top laner, and we have kind of melee Urgot, not really ranged, into actual ranged champion, so that's pretty interesting. And we have a double melee snowballing Ignite versus Ignite matchup in mid lane. And then we have some random poke, whatever, push, do stuff bot lane, so okay, fair enough. We'll see what we can do with that, and let's see. Okay. The music on this is so nice, I wish I could play it. But then I don't know, I feel like it's distracting. If I play music and then I stop it and I pause and there's no music and then again, and then also copyright, and I don't know, man. This sounds like a bummer. Okay, so we're doing the same opener as last time, where we just stand here. Sadly, my teammates are 4-man covering bot side, which is an interesting choice, but I'm not really too afraid of dying here, as worst case scenario I would trade flashes with someone, which is not that horrible. So do we start top side or bot side is the big question here. And I mean, what do you think? I'll just let you think about it. Where would you start? So yeah, our options are top side or bot side. I mean, okay. Well, I started top side. Why did I start top side? Because this guy has a really good leash in Urgot. I don't really want to path into a lane that has 0 prio whatsoever, because I really doubt that Urgot will have prio. And mostly I just prefer to path towards bot side anyway, in the current state of League of Legends. So yeah, I chose like that. Though I could completely understand why you would want to path into top lane this game. Fair enough. No real issues with it, but we're gonna play from this perspective. Boom. And then, okay, so I want to touch on this a little bit. So when we look at the lanes, right, what are we actually looking for? Like here, we want to see how close is this? Like, is this minion like crashing, and how many minions are there? So is this going to freeze, or are they going to like keep pushing and so on, right? So that's what we want to just quickly glance at. It's really important to know what you're looking at. Like here also, here we want to see, first of all, who has more minions. We don't really need to know by how many, but we want to see who has more minions. And then we want to see what are the HP bars looking like. Are they trading? Are they like fighting? Are they just like both full HP, you know? Stuff like that is what we really look out for. And top lane is just like whatever. You just quickly look if he's pushing or not there, but that's all you really care about. He somehow ends up pushing, which is okay, cool. I mean, I think he does have more wave clear than Teemo, though. I think Teemo could hit him more, probably, for pushing, but sure. I don't really see a gank opportunity, as mid lane was pushing, and I don't really want to take W and just sit in a bush, and I don't really want to just run bot lane, so I don't think that's really worthy of a little quiz, so we'll move on from that one. And let's see. Maybe there's something to talk about soon. Copy. So we see bot lane here, right? And now the question is, okay, we have a few options. First of all, do we just cancel this, just say, whatever, man, and just run bot lane? Go straight to bot. The second option, do we keep doing this, but keep looking at bot lane and then run to bot and cancel this if they keep chasing? Third option is finish this and then go bot lane. Fourth option is just do blue after Gromp. And I don't know. Fifth option is, I don't know, like go mid. Let's say that. So if we break down the options one by one, right? Going straight to bot lane right now. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Like Lulu might just run away. These two might stop chasing, whatever. It sounds like a pretty flippy play by us. We're kind of hoping for the best. Going bot lane right up, going bot lane before we finish Gromp, but right after this, like if they keep chasing. That though is something that could be debated on. And I didn't exactly pay attention right now, so I don't really remember. But I think they didn't have a ward in river. Basically, the way you know if they have a ward or not is you just keep looking at the lane, and you can see when laners walk. Like for example, I know that this guy's not warding right now, right? So if he walks like this, or he walks like this, or like this, or like this, then I know he probably warded on that side, right? I don't know exactly where he warded, but I know he warded somewhere there. And that gives me some good information. That's why you don't really need to play sweeper on the first clear. So yeah, this seems like a pretty decent option, especially because we have smite, so maybe we can smite the camp if it gets a bit lower. Finishing and then going bot lane if the opportunity presents itself, also a really good option. So these ones are just kind of like adaptable options, I guess. In the end, they're both the same thing. It's just the question is, am I willing to reset my Gromp to just run bot lane? And I think the answer in this scenario would be just, yeah, it would be if they run to say like here, right? So that's interesting. Just doing Gromp and blue without caring about bot lane, I don't know about that one. I mean, if she gets away or if they stop chasing, yeah, sure, of course I will do blue after, but if they keep chasing or whatever, then I think that's too passive of a move. And going mid lane just makes very little sense. I mean, you might as well just like finish blue and then go mid lane in that case, because as you can see from this wave on the minimap, this is what the Chinese guy does. Like, I think that the way he does it is he just looks at the minimap and just sees the wave here. This is how I used to play as well. Just whenever I would like autopilot or whatever, I would just play like this, and I think it's fine. It's not too bad as long as you actually keep good attention on the minimap, because you can see kind of, okay, so this guy's like pushing and it'll eventually end up on our side, but not right now. If Yasuo lets it, of course. Okay. So some stuff happens and those two keep fighting, and I chose to keep doing this. But the issue is that I don't really want to run bot lane because I have no fucking clue where they're gonna end up. Like, zero clue, man. Because look at that Zyra. She just stayed on her own side of the map and no clue, man. As I said, if they're chasing here and they end up like, we just... Basically, the way you want to look at this is you just want to have imaginary lines here, and you just choose which line they have to cross for you to actually be willing to commit to it, right? And if they cross that line, you just say, okay, I'm going. And then if that line was not correct and it doesn't work out, then you ask yourself why it doesn't work out, and you can adapt next time. But yeah. These are like small decisions that, for example, if you're just watching a replay, either your own or you're watching, I don't know, someone better than you or whatever, you won't notice stuff like this that they're just thinking about, but they are not acting on it all, right? So you would think, oh, well, he does this, and then, okay, his bot lane is fighting, and I mean, okay, it doesn't really matter, just do blue, right? Or, well, not all of you would think that, obviously, but I'm sure that many of you would think that, and this is one of the traps of really trying to completely copy others' gameplay from replays. Oh, it's not too bad. And here we have the same pattern as I did last time, where I go for a ward, but as you can see, this time I adapted from last time, right? And, or well, I didn't even finish my scuttle yet, but I adapted from last time, where last time I would walk all the way here and then lose some time, and I decided, okay, maybe it's fine to just ward here And that's a little adaptation. So we see Udyr topside. And okay. So the question is, what do we do right after the scuttle? We have to make that plan right now. You know, like when you're doing the scuttle, you don't want to make it after you finish the scuttle. You want to make it right now when it's gonna die in one more combo. So, okay. Mid lane looks like he's going to crash in base. Udyr is top lane. Okay. The camps are respawning in, I don't know, 40 seconds. So, kind of rough to do anything with that. So, we have like an option of just basing, I guess. Basing, maybe ward also, you know, like ward before base could be decent, like maybe ward like here or something. So let's just say this is like one of our options. So then what else can we do? We could walk down into bot lane and try to lane gank it. So this seems reasonable enough. It could work out. The main issue with this one is that if Zyra spawns plants or something, we can get spotted very easily. So the third option is, let's say, going something like this or like this. And let's just split these into two options, right? So let's say path 1 and path 2. And this is going to be path 1 and path 2. And then we wait for these two to like push out a bit. And we gank them on the bounce. Could be a viable option as well. So you may pick what you like right now, and I would like you to think of your reasoning, why you don't like the other ones, you know? Because what I gave you is, I think that all four of these options are at least somewhat reasonable. So I would like you to come up with your own reasoning, why you don't like one of them. Or, well, the three that you don't pick. Or if you would pick between two of them, then why you don't like the other two. So okay, let's try to figure out what would be really the best one. So if we base and ward, it seems like pretty fine. We can go like top side and maybe we can gank Teemo on the bounce. Maybe we can go mid lane after he bases with the same timing as him. And I don't know, gank mid since it's like melee, double ignite. Maybe we can get scuttle if Udyr just bases and doesn't take it, I don't know. Let's say maybe we can just walk down mid and, I don't know, maybe Yasuo stays or something, I don't know. And we just gank it and, or we just pressure gank and then maybe we go for like his Raptors or something. Anyway, we have some options after that, but they seem kind of awkward, all of them, right? So all of the options seem like a bit awkward. It's not really anything we have too much impact on. It's kind of just like, okay, I'm gonna go somewhere and try to react to whatever stuff happens, which is pretty rough. Then we have the lane gank option. So, okay, seems fair enough. The problem is that enemy team has two ranged champions, so no one is going to completely face check our bush, most likely. And as I said before, Zyra plants, Zyra seeds are pretty awkward. And also our bot lane is kind of strong. I don't really think that Sivir Zyra is gonna all-in. If it was some kind of a lane that would just run at our bot lane and try to all-in them, then I think this would be more reasonable by a lot. So okay, we have these two last options, right? So what's the difference between going route 1 and route 2? So first of all, we don't really have much of a difference in time, because while route 1 does take less time than route 2, the time that we need before this crash actually finalizes and these two are actually gankable is more than enough to make up for it, I believe. So then, what else is the difference, right? We're not gonna get spotted by here bush and river wards, so that's like pretty interesting. And also, we're gonna be in this bush for less time, kinda. So we can even play outside of vision. So maybe we can just like stay here for a while. And when they like walk in, we can also go like this if we suspect that they have vision there. Now, what's the advantage of path 1? In this case, if the enemy walks straight up and tries to ward, then we can probably just combo them. Zeri can maybe like laser over the wall, jump over, and maybe we can do that. So, okay, some stuff to think about there. Yeah, I think in the end, route 1 and route 2 are both viable, but I think I prefer route 2. Kinda. But in this game, I chose route 1. Because I was pretty sure that they don't have wards. Though, if you're not sure if they have wards or not, then route 2 is highly preferable, I believe. Because, as I said, there could be wards here. But I was pretty sure there aren't, so I chose this. And then we do end up finding something. And pretty good play by Sivir, where she decides to walk up and block my Q, and she actually spell shields it, so I can't even try to kill her. So, okay, fair enough. These two are kind of overcommitting, and I pinged them that Udyr is here. And the question is, okay, I cancelled my base, right? But what would you do here? And do you think canceling my base is justified, right? Like, just finish base, cancel and hover? Would you, I don't know, cancel, hover, and then go mid lane? Like, after this, would you base, or would you go for this, go mid lane? Because there seems to be quite a bit of fighting in mid and pretty big wave. Kind of three options, right? So if we look at them, what are we really achieving by basing? Well, we can get back on the map. We have like a decent amount of gold. We can go clear our camps again, and we should be on a pretty decent timeline. This guy's also pushing out. So basing does seem like a pretty good option. Okay, then obviously we have to know the follow-ups for every option, right? So here the follow-up is either farming or going here and helping this guy or something. So canceling plus hovering and then basing. Okay, so this one seems kind of fine, kind of not at the same time. The issue is that after we do base, our camps are already all going to be up, and we're kind of going to be in a weird spot where we're losing out on time, kind of, right? Because at that point, this guy is either already crashed, or he, I don't know, died, or I don't know, had to base, or whatever, right? And probably if he did crash or anything else, and probably he's basing either way. That's kind of likely. Or he's walking up and getting vision. One or the other, really. And then this guy's probably already cooked by that time. Or he needs us to come and shove out his wave. So, okay. Though the question with this third option is, are we going to actually make it to mid lane? And pretty hard to say as well. So I think here basing would have been the best, but I ended up doing this, canceling for no reason, and then I had to base anyway. I did get a nice ward though, which will at least stop my Lulu from dying to Udyr. But as you can see, waste of time, right? That was a mistake by me. We can recognize that, because we looked at the options that we can see on the map. And while it's not a big mistake itself, it's like something that was pretty useless and pointless, and that I shouldn't have done. So okay, we look at all the stuff, and it's pretty much what we expected to happen, right? So look, so Udyr, man. Urgot tries to crash and Teemo's trying to freeze or whatever, I don't know, but Urgot, like, I don't know, he kind of failed to crash, so I think the next wave is coming in because Teemo's freezing, I don't know. Either way, he tried to crash and then he tried to, like, ward, right? So that was one of the options. Yasuo is already cooked, so he already went back to base because he was already low. And this is what I mean. Now we have kind of an I don't know, a weird spot where we're just like, okay, I guess. And top lane is so warded that we kind of know that Urgot is not gonna get ganked. So we're just like, okay, would you go hover him or not, right? Like, would you go protect him or go for a counter gank? Well, it's not even worth a quiz because these wards are just so plentiful that there's nothing to really cover. You would end up seeing him. So, okay. We clear some camps. Yet again. And what are we gonna do? Clear some more camps because nothing is on the map, right? Okay, now. Udyr shows up bot lane. This guy shows up... did I ping this? Who did I ping? Oh yeah, I pinged that this guy is here, and he ended up being here. It's funny. Yep. Classic. Try to predict someone who doesn't know what they're doing. Yeah, it's whatever. Okay, so this happens, right? And now we need to adapt. Like, what do we do? Right? So what's our plan? You can say, okay, well, I'm gonna finish Gromp. Okay, well, cool. But right now you want to make a plan as to what you will do after Gromp, because you're in kind of an awkward position where you're kind of losing the game right now. So game is 5-2. You are pretty fed though. And your teammate just died and they're likely to take Dragon. You could even get, I don't know, invaded and chased around your jungle. And I don't know, you're likely to just get sent back to base if that happens and then go topside, but there's not much to do topside right now, so you're just kind of like, okay, what am I doing? So okay, after Gromp, or let's say this first, right? Or Gromp or no Gromp. Those are your options. Okay, so you can pick what you prefer there, but I'm gonna list the options after Gromp. So after Gromp, we can go straight to Dragon, for example. So we can try to contest this. The second option is we can try to sneak past and go bot lane. So like gank bot. The third option is we can just hover bot, right? In case of a dive or something, because Udyr could just come and dive our ADC who's alone, maybe. And the fourth option is to run over to mid, right? Go like mid and do something there, or maybe like, I don't know, pressure gank this, and then if Udyr hasn't finished it, then do this, or look for these camps or something, or whatever. Or something, I don't know, either way. Or let's just say, I don't know, something. Like that's something, you know, like, I don't know, just get creative. I don't know, kind of coin flippy. Or we can just base. And if we base, then most likely we would try to go topside here and, I don't know, maybe like gank Teemo somehow. Though it seems a bit difficult because he's going to be 6 by then. But okay, maybe. Okay, and then if we're not doing Gromp, then what are we doing? So here we have straight to Dragon again. We have straight to mid again. We could go straight to bot. Hovering doesn't really make sense because if we were to hover, then we can just hover while we do Gromp, so I won't list that really. And I don't know, we can just base. So you can see this is one of those scenarios where you're in an awkward position, and because you're in an awkward position, there isn't really a clear winning play for you, but rather there are many plays that you can just decide on, right? So you can decide what you like, and you can pause the video here and think this over a bit more because it's quite a few things to consider. But either way, we can continue now and break them down one by one. So Dragon, if we go Gromp and then Dragon, okay, The problem is that these two are going to push out the wave and move there, so not really viable, most likely, unless something weird happens. Ganking bot, not the most viable, both full HP. We don't know about sums. They're also pushing out, so yeah. And also going past Udyr is pretty scary. Hovering while doing Gromp, and then, I don't know, hover some more. Okay, could be viable. Could be viable, so let's just do this. Could be a viable option. Going to mid after Gromp could be a viable option as well. I don't really see that much of an issue with it. I just don't see what we're really achieving with going mid, right? So I don't really get the point of it. This is just, I don't know, just completely random, so maybe you had some other idea. I don't know. Base. Okay, so if we do Gromp and then we base, we end up top side, but the problem is that this guy is already pushing back, and he's 6, and he's doing all of his stuff. But maybe we can go mid lane or something, or we can go for an invade if this guy is backing off. Maybe we can try to, I don't know, gank this somehow, lane or river, or, I don't know, something. So this could work because it's not like that Timo stacks like 20 shrooms in river yet, since he just gets his ult, so could be fine. Fine option. Okay, then not gromping, and then going straight to dragon. Okay, I mean, this is better than gromping and then going to dragon, that's for sure. Because at least these guys are most likely staying in lane to push out the wave. So if we think Udyr is low HP, we could maybe do this. Though I don't really see why Udyr would be that low HP, but if it's like another jungler and maybe he already lost HP on the play, could be a pretty good option. Going straight to mid right now, I again don't really see what we're achieving, but we can do it. As I said before, it's not really too much of an issue. Going straight to bot, okay, we're not doing this because if we do this, first of all, if we blast on over this, Udyr could just be here, and if we don't blast on over this, we can't get to them. So most likely we're not doing this. Though it's really unlikely that Udyr is here, it's most likely that he's on dragon because no real reason for him to sit here like this. So yeah, but do you even beat them 2v2 with Zeri Evelynn? Who knows. And then just straight up basing is actually an interesting option here, right? Like you would think, okay, well, basing probably doesn't change either. But basing actually does change a bit, because the difference with basing is that we get different items, but not in this case. In this case, we get the same items, but we're on the map faster, right? And because he's doing dragon, that means that we're on the map with all of our items already bought. And then maybe we can do something like along the lines of a pressure gank, right? Like mid or top or whatever, and actually look for an invade. Especially because he should be low from dragon, so that could be interesting. Though it is a bit awkward because we're Evelynn and we're also pre-6, which makes it a bit of a question mark. So okay, what did I choose? I did the Gromp. Okay, and what did we choose after that? Since this was kind of a binary decision. We look at mid, we see, okay, he's like pressuring, whatever. And I just walk here and I just try to check it. That's what I decided to do. And I was like, okay, can't really do much about that. And I just base. That guy decides to break my recall, get on him, and we just have to base again. So the issue with League is that you're trying to figure out how to maneuver past all of these issues that exist, right? So you might have a complete metric ton of ideas of what you can do in a certain scenario, and maybe some of them are good, maybe some of them are bad, but the levels in League are basically like, okay, so first of all, so like level, I don't know, level 1, right? On level 1, you don't even know what the plays are, right? Like, you don't know. Like, you know 0, you don't know what you're supposed to do. Then like level 2, right? you know like some of the plays, right? You have some ideas, but the issue is that you don't have all of the ideas, and then you don't really sort through them too well. Then on level 3, maybe you could name all of the stuff that I said, right? Like, you can name all of it, right? But then, would you actually evaluate all of it inside of the game? And would you even come up with all of it, right? Like, that's some questions, right? And then maybe there's a level like, I don't know, level 4, and you say, okay, well, now I would probably think of all of them, but I would be thinking of them too long. I don't know. Like, I don't know, like an overthinker or something, we can say. And then we would have like the next level where people would actually start to like consider a few ideas, right? Like consider some, like pros and cons. And then you would have like the next level where you would start thinking about, okay, well, which ones can I just systematically reject, right? So when I'm playing the game, I wouldn't really think about all of this. I know I can do all of this, right? But I wouldn't bother thinking about all of it because, okay, so something like just ganking straight bot doesn't make sense to me because I know that Udyr can just kill me. I'm not going to believe that I'm going to kill them. So I just instantly reject that idea in both scenarios, right? And if you reject one idea in both scenarios instantly, that makes it so, I don't know, I think we had like 6 scenarios in 1 and 4 or something, another one. So it makes it like 5 and 3, you know? And then another scenario I can probably instantly reject, which one was it? I think going to mid lane, I instantly reject that as well, because I don't really see what the play is, right? So that's instantly like 3 and 1, or wait. Oh no, wait, this is 2 rejected, I think. Whatever. Is it? Yeah. Okay, then mid lane rejected, right? And then, okay, I don't really want to sit and hover them for 10 minutes, so I reject that instantly because I'm not gonna sit and hover my teammates for 10 minutes in low elo. And then I'm like, okay, well, I'm not skipping Gromp because it doesn't make sense at the moment in the way the map is to me. So, okay, here it's like 0 and here it's 3 still. And then, okay, we look at it and we think, okay, do I want to... I don't know. I think one of the ideas was like to hover bot lane and just hover it while doing Gromp, which is completely fine. And that's like a combination idea with basing, which is also fine. And I don't remember what the last idea was, but either way, these 2 ideas are one idea actually in reality in the end, because you combine ideas, right? And then in the end, we have like 2 or something, you know, like 2 options. And this becomes a lot easier to play. And you can do all of this, like all of this is really fast with really good players, right? So what happens is, okay, they think for, I don't know, like, let's say a few seconds, and like half of this is just rejected from the get-go, just completely rejected, and maybe like 2, 3, maybe 4 sometimes ideas remain that you just like think about really quickly, right? But because you have so many templates of stuff that you've seen before and rules in the game, you can actually quickly get through it. This is gonna end up being one long video. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. I mean, I'm only gonna review like 10 minutes, I think, because it's gonna be more of an early game focus one. So okay, then, okay. We look at mid and it's just the most gankable, right? Melee also. We decide to gank it, cool. Like right now, okay, I'm kind of making decisions, right? But why is that? Why did I turn around? Like whatever, right? And what are the ideas here? So after we finish this like little mini gank, right? So what are our options? Our options are 1, to invade the enemy, right? Like somewhere, I don't know, like top side, bot side, whatever, it doesn't matter. Wherever you want to invade. Wherever you think they are, and wherever you think their camps are, and whatever. It's not really important if you're correct or not. You just try it and then you can become more correct in the future. Okay, our second option is to go bot. Our third option is to go top. Our fourth option is to clear. And I think that's it. Right. So this is kind of our ideas, right? I mean, I don't know. I guess you can like walk to Herald and AFK there. But okay, so if we walk bot right now, first of all, our Lulu is dead, so we are protecting our ADC from getting dove or something. But can we actually kill the enemy? Okay, interesting. You can pick whatever play you like, but I'm gonna refuse bot lane. Not only for that reason though, but also because, first of all, our camps are all topside, so those can disappear. Enemy camps are respawning topside, and the Herald is respawning topside. So as you can see, the game is heavily favored in terms of topside right now. Because you just count how many things there are on bot side to do and how many things there are in top side. It's like, bot side is the countryside where you have nothing to do. You just, I don't know, go sit in grass or something. And top side is a metropolis. You just, I don't know, you're on a trip to Tokyo, I don't know. And you're gonna get some sushi there. Sounds like a banger, actually. I wish that was me. Okay. Either way, top lane, I don't know, top lane might be gankable, might not, but top lane and Herald is basically the same idea, because if you go towards top lane, then either way you're walking like this. So all three of these ideas are towards top side, and I don't believe he has camp spot side, so invading is also top side. So oftentimes this is what happens, right? You first of all split the map in half, and then you think, or well, you split it into quadrants, right? And you think, okay, well, do I want to play forward or back? I have ult, so we're gonna say I don't really want to play back, right? Like too far back. Okay, so I want to be playing somewhere that's more forward, right? Okay, cool. So then we're not gonna clear because of that. This is an idea that you just should have, pretty much, right? Like, ult up, I want to do something. But we're trying to contextualize it and put it into words. Then, okay, top lane, Herald, or invade. Well, it's Udyr. Can I kill him? Do I have prio? I mean, I have prio mid, but can he actually move? Like, Udyr will just walk away, right? So invading seems meh. And then it's top lane and Herald, but top lane and Herald is an illusion of a choice, really. It's the same choice, just stated in two ways. You do it in the same way. You walk up like this, and then you just decide, is top lane gankable or not? Literally, that's all that happens. You could also stay mid here and like try to gank this guy, but that just seems really pointless. I'm gonna be honest with you. Really pointless. So I pinged that. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, and this guy like all-ins, and he's getting on him, and okay. Cool. Worked out for him. This is our play anyway. Here I could invade though, for those of you who were paying really good attention, because my issue was that I didn't have prio here, right? But the enemy top laner is dead. And my issue was also that this guy's not that useful, but there's a useful play now, because this guy came back, right? So stuff changed now. Because previously it was like, okay, I invade and I have to get something through the invade. But now the difference is that after I invade, right, I have the benefits of killing Udyr. I have a benefit of taking camps. Let's say TC, I don't know, for taking camps. I have the benefit of kind of protecting my top laner, right? So it's harder for Udyr to get to him, especially because I'm going to start looking from this side and not start looking from this side. And then I have the option of diving mid. And I don't know, I can like, if Udyr shows bot lane or something, I can also like dive Teemo, right? Like behind this tower. So you see now I have a lot of stuff that's really open, right? But how much of this did I have when I was actually here in mid lane and deciding what to do, right? That's the question. So when I was deciding what to do here, mid lane was not in lane, so I didn't know if he's here or basing. Okay. Top lane didn't need protection, but he could maybe need, like, I don't know, counter gank or something. But not really protection in this sense, because I don't really, as I said before, I don't really want to just walk there and hover, and especially not against Teemo, who can just show me with shrooms. So taking enemy camps was not really an option because I didn't have prio, and it's kind of like, Udyr can just run around, and I don't think I beat him 1v1 when he just runs around. I have to like catch him somehow in a good scenario, and I still probably won't kill him. Am I killing him? I'm still probably not killing him even now. And could I dive top? Okay, diving top maybe, but if I meet Udyr in his jungle, like the problem is I need to go through his jungle, and if I meet him in his jungle when top lane is like pushed out, like it could prove to be a disaster as well if they all just move. So I didn't really want to do any of these, right? And because I didn't want any of these plays, invading was off the table. So sometimes something seems like a pretty decent idea. For example, invading could be perfectly reasonable, perfectly okay, whatever. But the problem is you don't want to do any of the follow-up plays. And these are all of the follow-up plays that I want to do off the invade. Like, what do you actually want to achieve with invade, right? And after I achieve this, what do I want to transition that into? Is something you should ask yourself when you play the game. But these are pretty hard questions to really answer in the moment, you know? So these are questions you have to prepare beforehand. So maybe today you learn one thing, and then tomorrow you learn another thing, and maybe today you learn like one branch of decisions, or maybe today you learn, I don't know, like about invading or something, and then that adds to your repertoire, and then at some point you're like, okay, well, I see this option here, and you're like, okay, do I like it, do I not like it? I chose to do Herald though, and just chill, because I CBA meet Udyr, and I would rather just secure my Herald. And I also have 10 trillion camps to do on the map, so I prefer to do this. So I will say if it was like a weaker jungler and not just Udyr, then most likely I would just invade. Then we do a few camps again. And then it was silent. A moment of silence for our fallen soldiers, I suppose. The ones that play Evelynn in full AP team comps. The mortars who have to endure that. Let's have a moment of silence for them. Alright, so we skipped blue here, just because it's not a basic camp, and I don't really think that there's anything else to do other than ganking bot lane or doing blue buff. But you see, the issue is also blue buff doesn't give me the mythic, so I kind of wanted to gank bot lane. That's really the main reasoning, and yeah, not too much to say about that. So this is a pretty obvious Udyr gank, right? So we're just waiting. Now you might think to yourself, why is it an obvious Udyr gank? But just look at the momentum of the enemy champions, right? Like, she walks like this, she walks like this, they want to go in. He's walking like this, he's walking like this. Okay, so they're completely playing towards like their momentum is like this and like this. So completely away from the bushes and completely towards this bush, completely in. So what does that mean, right? So when their momentum says that they're really sure that bush is safe and they're really sure they want to fight, well, that just means their jungler's there. So yeah, we have to waste a lot of time. I don't think Udyr was even here in the end. But look, I got hit by Sivir W bounce randomly in my stealth. I have no clue, by the way, why Sivir W bounce can hit me in stealth. But yeah, I don't know. He's like doing something, and I just flash combo him because he has a shutdown. And I was really upset that his W hit me into stealth. I was not happy with that. But yeah, we do a camp. Mid lane is like fighting, but whatever, man. Good luck to him. My priority right now is myself, and I want to make sure that I am in a good spot. So I can get Mythic and Boots. We're not going to do Dragon, but the reason that I do walk here is just so that I can see if Udyr passes, and maybe I can move a bit faster. But I have Boots and Mythic, and yeah. Then we play to the same side of the map because Dragon's up, but since our bot lane is basing and our mid lane is dead, there's nothing to really do there. But our top laner is solo killing again when we want to go top lane, so you know, there's a bit of there's a bit of trouble even when your laners do something good. For you, that is. But yeah, we do have at least one lane that's pretty stable, so that's pretty nice to see. And this is just a herald so that we get some plates before what's it called? Before the timeout. And that's just like a random free kill because I don't know, the guy's like fighting against Yasuo and it just happens. Not much in terms of choices here. Well, let's like keep reviewing a bit longer until the game is actually won. So here we have a tempo advantage on Udyr because he decided to stay mid and we are walking towards bot lane. But look, okay, so what's your choice now? What do you do here, right? I mean, first of all, you have to decide what do I want to do when this is happening, right? So like these two are like pushing up and Udyr is of course coming after us, right? Like, and Dragon is up. So what do you want to do? Do you want to like, okay, so our first option is blast cone over this wall and start Dragon, and I don't know, we have like a bit of prio right now in bot lane, and then our mid is dead, so we do have some kind of advantage there. Do you want to I don't know, like walk around and gank them? Let's say just walk and gank. I don't think many of you are gonna pick this option. I mean, it's a viable option though. Sometimes it's like pretty good because then you don't show off your location. You might think, but that's so useless. Why wouldn't you just use the blast cone? You don't show your location, right? That's something you shouldn't miss. If I take this blast cone, they know that I was here somewhere and I used it. So they have to then assume that I either went like this or like this. But if I don't use it, then they don't even know if I was here, if they didn't see me before. So that's something to think about. Third thing is like take the blast cone like this. Okay, but then the follow-up play, right? So Dragon is the end goal itself. So this is the play itself. Taking, or well, yeah, and then walking around, right? There's like different goals, right? So here, do we go through lane, right? Like, do we go lane and, I don't know, like, try to kill those two, they like walk back? Do we gank Udyr? I don't know, like stay there and try to get him if he goes for like the camp or something? Do we try to counter this play by staying somewhere down here? Or do we just run like this and try to gank them before Udyr gets there because they're a bit overextended? Okay, so I gave you most of the options I'm considering right now, and I want you to now pick one. So one of these, and then if you pick 2 or 3, then pick one of these also. I'll give you like a moment to do that. And okay, so Dragon, I'm gonna say I don't like, because our Yasuo, I think, wants to base at some point. This guy is half HP. They have no ults. And these guys are gonna start pushing, so not the biggest fan of dragon. So I'm gonna cross it out instantly. So we're gonna do one of these. Now, does walking make a lot of sense? Well, no, because the issue is that Udyr can actually walk like this, and he will be here before we are ready to do anything. So I don't like this. So we're gonna want to Blast Cone. So we want to Blast Cone like this, or Blast Cone to Dragon, walk away, and then like go like this. So these are two options now, right? So, yeah, I forgot to mention this before. So you can either go like this with Blast Cone, or you can go like this, and then you can appear from here, and you can try to counter when the Udyr walks like this, which is also interesting. Then, okay, do you want to, I don't know, lane or camp Udyr on camp? No, because he's most likely gonna walk bot. Though this is still an option if he does not walk bot. Do you want to counter gank? Probably. Do you want to gank? Okay, also a good option. So what's the advantage of ganking? Okay, it's pretty good. There's pretty low risk that something goes like horribly wrong. But there is a risk that we die or that we don't get a kill or something, and that's kind of annoying. But it's okay. Counter ganking, though, seems pretty decent as long as we win it, right? So if we win the counter gank, then it's like pretty good. And you have to remember my ult is 6 seconds, so I kind of want to play with my ult. And if we gank, I have to go first, but if I counter gank, then I have to go last. Because then I get to actually go after the fight starts. So pretty good option. And then lastly, there's also like this counter gank. And do we want to go like this way or this way is the question, right? So if we go here, then we also have the option of killing him on his camp if he decides to do that. And we also have the option of just straight up ganking if he doesn't decide to like show up here at all and I don't know, goes to Dragon or I don't know, does something random, right? If we go here, then we also have the option of ganking because we can just lane gank. Okay, but the main disadvantage of going here is that if I'm here, then I can stand here because I'm Evelynn, right? So I'm stealth, and I can actually see when he goes. So when he walks, like I will see if he walks like this. But the issue is I won't see if he walks like this, but we have a ward here, so I actually do see this still, I think. And I think she's warding again, so okay, interesting, right? But then what would you pick? I think for me, this play is nicest, and then I would go like this and do either one. But I can completely see why you would go here and here, and I think this is a really good play also. So as long as you have a good reasoning and you actually know what to do, then I think both of these plays are really good. But I think this one is more adaptable to the unexpected. Like for example here, this is really weird, right? But if Udyr isn't here, then I can just have my bot lane walk up, like come and just fight them, you know? But I was pretty sure Udyr is here, so we keep waiting. Be patient. Okay, and now we see Udyr, right? Now, since we see Udyr, if I went from here, it would actually be pretty meh. So that's what I mean. This other play is not as adaptable because what happens is, okay, so I walk like this, but now it's kind of hard to engage on them. But like this, it's like really easy. They walk up, they try to like hit this wave, and I will just show up here, and I can walk until like this line pretty much or something. I don't know, maybe like this. I don't know, something like that. Either way, it doesn't really matter. But I can just walk to somewhere here, and I can instantly just appear here. And I also have rocket belt, so I can be pretty fast. But I want my bot lane to go in first, so that I don't get turned on. Because they're both level 8, because for some reason, I don't know, I'm not doing well enough in jungle to be high level, my bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But yeah, then they like fight a bit, and then Udyr does show up. But through river, which means that I would actually have to fight him, right? Like, because he shows up through river, that means that if I actually, obviously we see him, right? But that means I would have to either fight him in river, or I would have to like hide here and then go after him, right? But this way I get to get on the bot lane, so ends up being pretty good for me. We get a pretty satisfying ult, and I try to get my stealth, and we try to kill him as well, but no damage. And okay. This is actually pretty much game winning already, in my opinion, because we're 5-0. But now these two are like fighting, and okay, just keep attention on the map. And then this guy's like here, and this is just a simple trap, right? I mean, what else are you gonna do if not this? And yeah, doesn't really work out this time. Cool, fair enough. And then we just clear. But we're really ahead now, and all we really need now is just one good play to seal the deal. Like, if we get one good play off now, then the game is pretty easy to carry, and not too much to say after that. So our mid and support got a good play, but we want our one good play that we get ourselves, right? So I probably end up doing like 1 or 2 more camps, and I probably prioritize an objective after that, or I go to this fight which is going on in mid, but it doesn't look like it's really salvageable right now, and since it's not salvageable, I will not go there. It's okay, kind of bad what happens. So one good play though still should turn the game for us, and since I'm getting my ult now, I'm gonna actually play for Herald now, and I also saw that they're playing for Dragon, so completely fine, no issues. Gonna skip ahead a bit so we don't have to watch me do Herald for no reason. I take enemy jungle camps because, well, he just did Dragon and he would have to literally run straight here, but I also have Prio and Teemo's dead, so I don't know. Not much else to really do, so I can't really list even like 3 options of what you would do here, so no point in having a quiz here. But yeah, you don't do wolves, because if you do wolves, then enemy can actually catch you off. Let me just take this and okay. And now we have the best item that we could think of, which is Rabadon's. And look, fucking Teemo, man. I hate these champs with traps, like Jhin and Teemo. Holy fuck. But yeah, we're fine. Just walk back far enough to get a base off safely. But since they already broke my base, I think what I want to do here is I want to take this camp, and then if top lane is like a decent wave, then I'll probably take that. But if not, then I just do this. But I think the top lane wave is... Actually, I think my top lane does have TP. But I had to be bot side, I think. Yeah, I didn't want to sit there. I mean, if the game was more stable and my bot lane wasn't, or well, bot side wasn't doing as weird stuff as it is, then I would take the wave for sure. But not really stable, is it? Unfortunate. I don't know, Teemo decides to just walk here for whatever reason. He's a funny guy. People do this against Evelynn like every game. I think, I don't know, if you've watched my VODs before, I have at least one of these in probably like every VOD, where someone just walks at me, or someone just tries to like tilt invade or tilt fight me or something. They just like run into a tower, run into my jungle, run into like something, you know? They try to do this like every time, and if you call them on their BS, then it's just free kill usually. Yeah, I mean, nothing to really do. This guy's the only guy on the map, though be careful in these scenarios, because the enemy is most likely going to be right behind them, because you're going for the only person on the map, right? So everyone else is gone. So they're doing something, probably. But yeah. At this point, I'm thinking that if I get enemy Udyr's camps right now, then game is GG. I can just snowball that into complete win always. Forever. I do get like 1 camp. I don't know if I get the other one, I don't remember. But I think I backed off because I wasn't sure if Teemo would come and Udyr. But then I see that Teemo's like staying, so I just get another free kill for whatever reason. Okay, I mean, at this point, the game is pretty free. But yeah, if you'd like to look at the game itself, I think I'll upload the game also, so that you can watch the rest of it and see how the game actually turns into a win if you want. But I won't be reviewing more of this because otherwise this video would end up way too long. It's already really long. So yeah, if you enjoyed, then like and subscribe, and I don't know, you can comment your answers and how you did and whatever. And if not, that's fine also. Either way, I'll see you next time, and peace.